We'll start this webinar with a silent prayer. Let us close our eyes and pray to the Almighty God. Good evening, everyone. Reverend Father Biju Kutaplaikal, Siamai Provincial, Karmal Siamai Province, Moatubra. Dr. Jonas Richard, resource person, Reverend Fathers, sisters, and all my dear teachers. COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in unprecedented upheaval across all industries, with the education sector being no exception. In such a difficult time, society and industries have sought to counter the disruptions caused by the pandemic through great decentralization, work from home, or actually work from anywhere. As we march towards a post-COVID education era, we should realize that as educators, we are going to face a different education system, teaching learning platform, a paradigm shift in the attitude of teachers and students, and a lot more challenges and changes. It is said that the attitudinal change, which I hope should be visible in teachers, is that of a learner rather than the previous role of just being a facilitator. So if yesterday we were gurus and tomorrow we are going to be co-learner. So the pandemic, COVID has created a lot of changes in the education system. Its impact in education is immeasurable. Today, you are all invited to join a webinar to equip ourselves to face the challenges and opportunities of post-COVID education era. I'm extremely happy to welcome all of you to this educational webinar conducted by the Education Department of Karmal Siamai Province, Moatubra. We are proud to tell you that this is the 12th webinar conducted from the department. More than 700 teachers from all over all the states of our country joined this webinar. I'm really proud to tell you that there are participants from Nepal, Germany, Rome, Vietnam, Ukraine, and definitely it has become an international webinar. So I really want to welcome all of you to this webinar. First of all, I welcome Reverend Father Biju Kutaplaikal, our provincial. He is the patron and the supporter of all our endeavors. Dear Father Biju, our provincial, hearty welcome to this webinar. I also welcome our resource person, Dr. Jonas Richard, is the head of the social work department of Christianity Autonomous College, Bangalore, and he's a well-known speaker. And I'm really happy, sir, to welcome you to this webinar. I extend my heartfelt welcome to all the participants, fathers, sisters, teachers, all over the world. Really proud to welcome all of you to this webinar. Hearty welcome, dear participants. I want to introduce Dr. Jonas Richard. Dr. Jonas Richard comes with 20+ years of experience with a unique combination of expertise in the areas of life skill education, employee engagement, CSR consultation, implementation of action research, and promotion of psychological well-being. A trainer by passion and academician by profession, Dr. Jonas facilitates regular training sessions in the area of life skill education. As a certified life skill coach, he trains on capacity building training and training of the trainers of life skills. His target group includes schools, colleges, army personnel, and the corporates. As an employee engagement specialist, Dr. Jonas supports corporates in employee relations strategies and retention initiatives. He assesses and evaluates the effectiveness of employee relation programs. Dr. Jonas, with his action research expertise, helps NGOs in facilitating action researches for creating more evidence-based social work practice in the communities. His educational qualification are MSW HRM, MSc Psychology, MPhil Psychology, PhD in the area of life skills education. His PhD work on life skills using quasi-experimental design with the pre-post analysis is widely appreciated. Dr. Jonas also has published several research articles, authored books, and written chapters in the books. Currently, Dr. Jonas Richard is the head of the Department of Social Work and the director of the Center of Life Skill Education and Center for Continuous Professional and Development in Christianity Autonomous College, Bangalore. Dear Dr. Jonas Richard, I'm really proud to invite you. You accepted our invitation and joined this webinar. I'm really proud, and there are more than 700 participants today to join this webinar. I'm 100% sure they will be enriched after this webinar. Dear participants, a few guidelines: keep always your mic in mute mode, and there are only 500 participants in the Zoom, and also our YouTube channel is open and it will be live streamed. All others can join in Chavra Media, our channel. And our program will be till 9:30 or 9:45. Up to 9:45 we'll have the session. Last 10 minutes, if we have any interactions or any clarifications, last 5 minutes we can have the clarifications. So if you have anything to discuss with the resource person, you can drop your suggestions or questions in the chat box. We will discuss at the end. And also a feedback form link will be dropped in the chat box. And those who fill the feedback form will be given a participation certificate. Dear Richard sir, we'll start. Hearty welcome.
Thank you, Father. Most respected Father Biju, the Provincial Superior of Muvatupura CMI Province, Reverend Father Rinoj, the Education Counselor of the province, a good friend of our institution, and respected Reverend CMI fathers, other fathers, Reverend sisters, and dear teachers. So greetings from Christi Jayanti College. I represent Reverend Father Augustine George, my principal, and all the other CMI fathers, and all the entire Christi Jayanti family. Greetings. And thank you so much, dear Father, for this opportunity. And I hope by end of another 1 hour, we should be able to have some value added. Dear friends, if you look at history, apart from the public health, the next worst hit department is education department because of COVID-19. And education has never been disturbed so badly in the history like as we have had. And whenever there is any problem, the one thing that immediately they compromise is on education. If you look at any disaster, schools and colleges are closed. Any political problem, schools and colleges are closed. So the least preferred, of course, the reasons given are children's health and then other things that are concerned. The reason given is that. So today, slowly we are reopening. Almost all the states are reopening their schools and colleges. Now, what are the challenges? Now, why are we so much talking about the challenges as such? It is not like another holiday that children are coming back, after the vacation and then, they are into the education mode. No. The last 1.5 years or 2 years, a big learning loss has taken place. People are already discussing about learning loss. The child who was in a 4th standard, we do not know how he completed 5th standard. Now today he is already in 6th standard. So you last saw him on 4th standard with a certain amount of knowledge. Today he is there in 6th standard. So what happened last 1 year? What was his learning? Now, when we say coming to a school, it is not that the buildings and then, people come inside and you give an academic input. That anyway you gave during online class. Coming to a school is much more than that. Number one, meeting their friends, right? And if there are community-based, welfare schools, aided schools, the lunch program which they were having, nutritious food, their interaction with the teachers, the travel that they had and interaction with the friends, the sports that they played, the competitions that they participated, all has become nil. And now we are just having only the online classes, and slowly each state is opening up. So therefore, it is highly imperative to find out, number one, whether we are really prepared. As teachers, you know the challenge, right? How it went last 1.5 years. You had to manage your own family, your biological children, the children, and you would have also found the parents have become suddenly super duper conscious of their child's education, right? Over conscious of their child's progress. And every schools and every teacher's WhatsApp group says that night at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, you keep getting a message. If you don't respond, the principal gets the message. Okay, so such a schools have pressure. One, they need to pay the teachers. Fees parents are not able to pay because many have lost jobs or pay cuts. So with all the background, when people come back to the school, how are we going to manage? So today, my presentation would be on slightly focusing on how, what are the challenges, number one, that as children come back to the school, and number two, how do we project ourselves, or how we can become effective teachers in this context, so that our presence has some value to the students and the management. So I understand there are school educational leaders, the principals and the teachers. So I have kept a presentation in such a way that everybody has got some takeaway to take home, friends. So the program that I have put it as redefining the role of educators in the post-COVID era. So first of all, congratulations to you for two reasons. Number one, we have crossed pandemic. Many of people who were with us are not there today because of this terrific pandemic that has taken. And number two, you were highly successful in very carefully moving through this phase of online education and getting back to the normalcy. So congratulations, because every school has been really proud, especially our CMI schools and the other schools. Okay, I have seen that the amount of contribution done by each teacher, so that the education has not stopped. So the quality would have reduced, but then the classes has not stopped. Right. So if you are able to have access to the chat box, please open your chat box. I have a few quick questions to ask. So please type your designation. I mean, principal, teacher, or administrator, which is yours. So let me know how many teachers are there, how many principals are there. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, dear teachers. Thank you. So we have principals, teachers. Okay, administrative cum teacher. Okay, we have more number of teachers. Next is principals. Okay, right. Okay, very good. Thank you, dear teachers. Thank you. Somebody is giving full name and address. Thank you. So nice. Okay, right. Okay. Very good. Thank you, dear teachers. Okay, right. Okay, next question. Please type the number of years of experience of you in teaching profession. (16, 4, 5, 14, 16, 3, 23 years. Great, Suma teacher. Okay, 24. Okay, 8, 24 years. Okay. Recently joined. Okay. Thank you. Very nice. Thank you. Right. Okay. So please, okay. Thank you, dear teachers. Very nice. So we have teachers from very recent till 24 years. I mean, that's the rough. Okay. So average is about 10 to 12 years should be there, right? Okay. Now, if you are able to recollect and remember, what is that one challenge that you faced during this pandemic in terms of your education? Being a principal, being a teacher, being an educational administrator, what is that one challenge that you faced during the last 1.5 years? Communication with the students, okay. Alini ma'am has written, okay. To teach them personally, okay. No personal connect, okay. Okay, make them understand the concept. Effective teaching was a challenge. Adopting technology, direct communication with the students. Communication was a problem. Okay, okay. Lack of, okay, quality teaching, very good. Planning for the online class, bringing them together. Okay, right. Okay, good. Okay, so most of you agree as far as the messages have come. That means you have a similar thinking that I also felt, that though teaching happened, the syllabus completed, nothing like the physical, because in a classroom, typically I'll tell you, when we ask a student to get up and answer, automatically the child's self-esteem goes up. But during online class, that was missing, right? Okay, network issue was there, okay. Less interested from students, also from the teachers, okay, because it's natural and normal, okay. Lacking interaction, lack of network, okay. Maintaining discipline, right? One unique thing, dear friends, that we found out was people who were very silent in offline class, they became active during online class. I don't know how many of you have identified as teachers, okay. These people became suddenly, because they were the ones who were doing all type of mischievous, and students had, more technical knowledge than the teacher. I heard in some schools the children putting the teacher in the waiting room. Teacher is calling them, please admit me, I need to join. Okay, and students are super duper brilliant, so very good. Okay, weak students didn't get personal attention. Thank you. Personal interaction. Okay, thank you, dear teachers. So please continue to interact as and when I ask, so that we can make it a more interactive. So dear friends, this is what is the discussion track that I have planned for today. So we will just start with what is the current situation, how the online education has affected people and the situation. Second, we will also talk about what is the challenges in post-COVID CRM. CRM is nothing but a classroom management. Okay, and what are the disciplinary issues that we may have as children come back. And one major area that every parent or everybody worried about is mental health concerns. Mental health concern, when I say, the issues related to anxiety, stress, all that, because one full year this boy has never seen a school, right? He had his own time, he was sleeping, eating, I don't know. Now suddenly when you bring them to a normal routine, it is going to be a challenge. So we are all called cyber school educators, blended learning. So what is our role, we are going to see, and how do we move from educator to an empowerment role? That's a new role we are expected to play. And how do we manage relationship with parents, and some strategies for motivating students, also for motivating the teachers, especially for the principals and administrators. This is what I have planned to cover today. So the session may go maybe at 9:40 we can stop, maybe at later point of time, if you want more input, we can think of it. Any point of time that you think that any particular area can be covered, please feel free. Whatever little I know, that I would share with you. Now, one major thing, what has happened over the years is AC. AC is nothing but after Corona. BC is before Corona. DC is during Corona. Now that we are in DC and AC. Okay. Now, what has happened is, one major problem as a human beings that has happened is changes in the sleeping pattern. Okay. That has affected. I know you will know it better because your own children, right? People have either sleep too much or they are not able to sleep at all. It has affected their sleep, because once your sleeping pattern is disturbed, your biological clock gets disturbed the entire. You know that any amount of sleep you make during the day, that is never equal to sleeping at night. So one is sleeping, and people's tobacco, coffee, tea increase has increased, right? and people have started consuming more coffee, tea, alcohol consumption, or a drug abuse, lot of other things that have increased. And generally, I'm talking about the general scenario during COVID, so that you need to understand what is the background with which the child is coming back to you in the classroom. General, people started feeling lonely. There is something called social isolation. You appear to be people around you, but then still there is a deep vacuum inside people's mind, and then there is a sense of loneliness. Some people started having fear of death, fear of losing the loved one, all that. Okay, then anxiety, stress, insecurity, fear of future, right? What is going to happen to my job? How am I going to pay my EMIs? My loans are there. Some people had a pay cuts. Some people had a loss of jobs. Okay, all that. Yes, Corona has not passed, right? So financial health related concerns were there, right? And fear of death, fear of losing loved ones. And Corona also has made many people pass. The other day I found one memes, first time in the history, boys percentage is equal to a girl's percentage. Last 10-15 years, if you notice any state, okay, girls are always the toppers, right? Any state, last 10, at least for the last 1 decade, girls are always the toppers. This meme is like a first time in the history, boys also have a equal pass percentage. Nothing but Corona. Okay, Corona has made past everybody. Earlier, the students we used to break our head how to convince the teacher to get the mark. Today, the teachers are breaking the head how to calculate and give the mark. Because there are different calculations, different programs. So teachers' headache has become a major one. Okay, so these are all some of the generally people's life has changed over the last 2 years. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? It has affected 4 areas broadly. First one, psychologically. Psychologically, there is a sense of boredom and monotony because of excessive screen time. Whether you are working office, whether you are a teacher, fear of losing family relationships, and many people have lost the relationship. I can tell you that. Okay, excessive screen time, that is a psychologically major disturbance. Professionally, what has happened? Work from home, more time online. If you are on a corporate job, at least a teacher, I think once the class is over, you are out. Okay. And if you are on a corporate job, minimum 12 hours, 10 hours, people are working. And you know that there are different softwares. If you log out, then you are, accordingly the pay is cut. Recently, one of my students was saying, sir, there is a software which detects whether you are still on the system, right? And then so many minutes, if you are not there, accordingly, your pay also gets cut. Tremendous amount of pressure. And there is a new concept which is going around, is what we call it a webinar fatigue. Okay, webinar fatigue. People are so tired of webinar, okay, because meeting after meeting, meeting after meeting. So this has affected the professional, right? Thank you, Utpal sir. And socially, what has happened? No offline gathering, no social gatherings, no functions that can take place. Okay, and then there is something called a social isolation. And finally, unexpected financial crunch. Nobody ever thought that suddenly, so much financial struggles. I know many schools, some of the principals, when they call, sir, people are not paying money. How do I pay my teachers? That's a big challenge. Administrators would agree with me. And their concern is, anyway, students are writing only online. I'm only giving my internet. It is my computer being used at home, right? So the parents are not able to pay. And genuinely, they do not have money also, because many of them had a pay cuts, a loss of job, and less opportunity. So dear teachers, it is with this background a child is going to enter your campus tomorrow or these days, or they have entered these days. So it is not like they are coming back from another holiday. It's a big shift, and you are also with so much, challenges. Now, what has happened among the adolescents? A recent study which we have done, especially it is for the teachers of class 9, 10, 11, 12, and the college students. One thing it has affected directly their confidence level. Many children have developed, low self-confidence because they just don't meet people. There is nobody to tell them that you are good, right, all that. The type of dress they would like to wear and then increase their self-esteem, that is missing. They are always at home. Relationship issues. When I say relationship issues, it's not necessarily a boy-girl, even parents. Okay, talking about relationship issues, we know what is happening in recent days, in the media. Maybe I'll come back to that a little later. why we need to be doubly careful about certain things in our campuses. Okay, and social media addiction, not just children, everybody is onto media. Okay, so please answer my question very, very, very genuinely. How many of you check your social media as soon as you get up? How many of you check your, whether it is Instagram or a WhatsApp? Never. Okay. Okay, not at all. Not at all. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being very, 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 very honest. Okay, right, good. Okay, okay, no problem, no problem. Okay, good. Just wanted to know how our teachers are. Okay, right. So 3 symptoms are identified as a symptom of addiction. Number 1, morning as soon as you get up, you look at your social media. Night before going to bed, looking at your mobile, that is the last thing that you do. And when suddenly your network goes or Wi-Fi goes, you get disturbed. If these 3 symptoms are there, better that you can go for a screening to check to the next level, because they are saying they say that it is exactly equal to an alcohol addiction, because an alcoholic, as soon as he gets up, he thinks about alcohol. Before going to bed, last thing that he does is an alcohol. Okay, and when it is missing, and he gets disturbed. Okay, so just think about it, friends, especially as parents, when we are not able to control. There is one technique which I would suggest towards the end, which is called triple D. Okay, so how do we manage our addictions, or how do we expect? So this is one thing that has increased. Okay, now again, anxiety, stress, insecurity, fear of rejection, not able to make decisions. Either they are over emotional or totally numb. Both we are seeing children, adolescent children, we are seeing both extremes. Either they are too emotional or they are not at all emotional. Both are dangerous. They have to be a normal. So, but this has happened these days, and many children are having fear of unemployability, and many are not able to get job also because things are changed. Now, why I am explaining all that is, this is the background with which has happened. Now, how it has affected their education. Number 1 is excellent media and communication influence. In fact, people are more techno-driven than normal. And if you have a first standard child, you know it. No, LKG or UKG child, if he is attending online class, morning, he knows, he gets up, and you put him in front of the laptop or a computer, he logs in. Okay, he knows the password, and he enters if he's in a Microsoft Teams, he enters which class he has to enter. If it is in a Zoom, he enters password, all that. After reaching the class, teacher teaches A, B, C, D. This fellow already knows more things than what he is going to learn. That is a generation that we have today. We have a generation, really. How many of you think that today's youngsters, today's generation is much more knowledgeable and talented than us? Please type yes if you agree with me. Very good, very good, very good. I'm okay, good. Yes means you should compare your 6th standard knowledge with today's 6th standard. Don't compare your B.Ed, M.Ed knowledge. Should compare apples with apples only, not with apples with orange. How we were when we were in 6th or 7th, what is the generation today? So my humble request to you, dear teachers, when we can only be highly successful, they will be doubly successful. But one thing that we need to take care of is their relationship. Relationship. Yes, we didn't see smartphone. Okay, we had only Android. Today, Android. Okay, that's why somebody said today, more people are addicted to Android than alcohol. Okay, Mata Pita Guru Devam, our generation. Today, Mata Pita Google Devam. Google occupies everybody's life. That's why I read one-liner, respect your parents because they passed 8th standard without Google. Okay, this one-liner says, respect your parents because they passed 8th standard before Google came, which means that was a real knowledge. But today, everything is on Google, and then they are more advanced also. Today, they are more advanced. But one thing is, Google cannot motivate. Google cannot encourage. Google cannot say, it's okay, come on, get up. It's okay, I'm there with you. Don't worry, nothing wrong in falling. Failure does not mean falling. Failure means staying there. So Google cannot say that. So that is where the role of teachers. Dear teachers, take my word today. Post-COVID, 50% of the salary paid to you is to staying positive and motivating students. Only 50% of the salary that you get is for teaching. Why? Even if you don't teach, today's children can pass. Okay? Even if you don't teach, today's children can pass. In fact, you just go to science teachers, no? You go to any YouTube animation videos you see. Whatever you heart, liver, you draw a picture and show. The YouTube animated videos are there. So beautiful. This Byju's, this so many apps are going around. That's a big business. So then what is the role of a teacher? Are we still relevant? We are relevant, but with a different role. But we cannot go ahead with the A for apple, B for ball. We have to change our role and we have to motivate. So our role is more of a motivation. More of a motivation. Thank you. I'm not a father. I'm a father of 2 children. Thank you. Okay. So therefore, we need to be identifying what is our role, and accordingly, we should be able to motivate. Now, what has happened? Another challenge is less concentration. One side, they are highly technologically advanced. Another side, they are not able to concentrate. Okay, if you have a son of a 10-year-old, if there is any teacher here, son of a 10 or 12-year-old, make that boy sit in one place for 10 minutes. He cannot. You give him a TV remote. How many channels they keep scanning within that 10-15 minutes? So they get so restless. That is one problem with today's youngsters. Continuous updating. Right now, what we are doing, how to make this fellow understand. We are sitting and discussing at night 8:30 on a Sunday evening. That is a world that we are in. Okay, so we are preparing ourselves. And parents have become very selfish here or not at all giving. Both extremes that we are seeing. Lack of parental support and value system. Today, nobody wants to talk about value system. One thing I will tell you, dear teachers, silent siren, pornography is on the increase because mobile phones are given to children and nobody monitors and nobody talks about it. That is the worst part of it. I don't know whether your schools talk about it. I mean, the religious institutions don't talk about it. Parents are not talk about it. So therefore, I'm not saying children can go bad. Prevention is always better than cure. Prevention is always better than cure. Okay, Saint Chavra's famous quote: "Keeping a bad book at home is like keeping a fire under a heap of stay." So today we may not have a bad book. Okay, their bad website it can be. So therefore, as parents, as responsible teachers, this is not only whatever I am saying. It is not only for your students, also for your biological children. Okay, also for your biological children, because however super duper you are at the school, but if you are not a good mother at home, you are a total waste, right? Because professional success does not guarantee a personal success. Please understand. If you are a very good teacher, it does not mean you are happy at home. But if you are happy at home, there is a more possibility that you can be a better teacher. So therefore, charity begins at home, happiness begins at home. So whatever I say, please look at it from your own biological and family setup also. Now, what has happened between the online and offline class? Because this sudden shift only made problem. Now, earlier you were only worried about the atmosphere, whereas in online class, you are only worried about the virtual. And you are worried about the personality of the child. Today, you are worried about only the appearance, whether he is showing the face properly. Earlier, you were worried about silence, you were saying. Today, mute. That means what? You talk whatever you want, I don't want to hear. See the teacher's plight. Earlier, you were very happy about the collaborative student who was collaborating with you. Today, you are happy with the cooperative student. Please cooperate with me. Let me finish the syllabus. Okay, so that is a big change. Earlier, you were worried about uniform. Today, you are worried about dress code. Small children, if the class is at 8:30, I do not know what time he is getting up, right? He may get up at 8:25. As soon as from the bed, the parents will take him and put him in front of the laptop or the mobile phone. We don't know whether this fellow has brushed, whether he's putting some dress down also, we don't know. He's coming and sitting in front of you. That is the big thing that has happened in the online class. Earlier, you were worried about punctuality, even come on time. Today, attendance. You go to the Zoom at the end of the day meeting, look at the attendance, you take the attendance. Earlier, you were worried about that. Don't talk. Today, you're saying don't chat. Okay, it's a big shift. Earlier, if you know the subject, you are a great teacher. Okay, earlier, if you know the subject, good teacher. Today, knowing the subject alone does not make you a good teacher. You should also know the technology. Right? See, super duper excellent teachers are finding, very difficult in online classes, whereas the young teachers who are very comfortable with the tech savvy, showing all that boom bomb, they appear to be very, very excellent. That is one thing. Some of the senior teachers would agree with me. We were very comfortable with the chalk and talk. I can work out all sums, the teachers are saying. But during this online WhatsApp, however I put effort, I don't have the satisfaction. That's a big shift that has taken place. That's why we say, some people argue, no, I only said that Google cannot replace a teacher. Technology cannot replace a teacher. But please remember, technology cannot replace a teacher, but a teacher with the technology will replace a teacher without the technology. Okay? A teacher with the technology will replace the teacher without the technology. So what I'm saying is that we need to become tech savvy. Okay, that has become. Earlier you are worried about the homework. Today you are worried about the network. Right? You are worried about only the network. Earlier you were teaching only the student in the four walls. But today, not only student, the whole family is sitting and listening to you. Right? All of you have agreed. So you do not know who are all there. Sometimes you correct the child's English, child's mother corrects your English. You have seen that. And the next day, either you get a call or the principal sister gets a call. How can he put it right, or how can she put the wrong, because the child has, it slips. We are human beings, right? So this is the situation, a very, very, very unique, which we were never prepared, dear teachers. We were never prepared. All of us thought, many people thought teaching is a general feeling that, lady, you take a teaching profession, very easy profession. Now, yes, parents answer, ma'am. And you can see, we know this fellow, what is his level and how he answers. Suddenly, he gives you super duper answers. Okay, not getting audio, kindly check whether you have joined with audio, ma'am. You can log out and log in, try. Okay, so this has become a major challenge today. Very, very big shift. Earlier, we used to say teaching is a 3-year preparation, a 30-year reputation. Over. How many of your parents were teachers? How many of your parents were teachers? Please put it in the chat box. How many of your parents were teachers? Very good. Suma, Archana, okay, Auxilium, Sandeep, Sunil, okay, not mine, okay, right. Okay, good. Now, one question that I would like to ask these teachers, do you enjoy same respect as teachers, just like your parents enjoyed? Your parents enjoyed certain amount of respect in the society because they are teachers. Okay. But do we enjoy? No, Kavya ma'am said. Yes, we don't get it. Why? Today, every day you have to earn your respect. Right? You may be a very good teacher, 20 year, 30 year. Right? You may be a good teacher, 20 year, 30 year. Nobody knows, not even your neighbor. I will tell you one tip to be known by others. Give one slap to one student. That's enough. Next day morning, you can see yourself in TV. Asianet, Malayalam Manorama, your school will come on, live, and then there will be a big red then arrow mark. This is the place where the child was beaten. Okay, and lot of people will come. Okay, that evening, Arnab or others would come. The nation wants to know why teachers are like this. Okay, and they would also, call some old alumni and take the interview. Do you feel that the teachers are hitting? Yes, they will say, yeah, earlier they used to hit. I thought she was changed over the years, but I think she continues. I'm very sorry to note that. So this is how it will happen, dear teachers. Highly techno-driven, highly media-driven, media-hungry news channels are there, news-hungry media channels are there. In that context, being a teacher is not so easy. Right now, you tell me, how many of you feel being a teacher is easy or difficult? Please put it in the chat box. Let me see. Please put it in the chat box. Being a teacher is easy or difficult? Difficult. Thank you for being very honest, dear teachers. Good. Very, very, not at all easy. Some people capital difficult. That means so much. There was a one-liner which I read. Everybody says that entering a classroom is like a park, but only teacher knows she's entering a Jurassic Park. Such an amount of challenge today. But can we still make a difference? Yes, we can make a difference in the lives of a student. Look at some more challenges. One, you have to balance your family. If you are a mother, you have to take care of your family, your children. And if you are staying with your in-laws, you have to take care of them. Plus, you also have to take care of your classes. And if you have adolescent children, their challenges are more. And there is another interesting fact is that when your children become adolescent, that's exactly your husband also will behave like an adolescent boy or a girl. Okay, so you have the double challenge of managing people. Okay, unprepared student, over expecting parents, over expecting school management, because school management doesn't want to, they are worried about their reputation, right? So with a lot of these things, parents are selfish. Night 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, you get a WhatsApp group message. If you don't respond, you are termed as a irresponsible teacher. Teacher is not responding to my message. Teacher is not answering me. So how will you manage? This is a challenging time. This is what I said. This is a challenging time. We have to accept the fact. Whenever there is a challenge, the first thing that if you want to solve the problem, first accept that you have a problem. First accept that we have a problem. If you still think I don't have a problem, then we are not going to solve it. Like a husband, one day he had a doubt whether the wife is not able to hear. He thought the wife is having some problem with the hearing. So he went near her and asked, "Can you hear me?" There was no sound. She's not responding. Then he went a little more far, few feet. He asked, "Can you hear me?" I mean, he's not hearing anything. He went out of the house and shouted, "Can you hear me?" She's not responding. Then he went out little more, shouted. The wife came near, pulled him and said, "How many times should I tell you I can hear?" Actually, this fellow is having a problem with the hearing. Many a times, we as teachers, when we don't recognize the issues and challenges, there is a possibility, there is a tendency to cover it up. No. Unless we accept these are the challenges, we will not be able to do it. One big challenge right now in front of us, when children come back, this is going to be social media is going to be a big challenge. Big challenge, dear teachers. I do not know how we are going to manage. Now, what happens? I have grouped the challenges of today's children into 3 categories. Okay, first one, personal challenge. Personal challenge is biological challenge. Number 1, you will agree with me, children have become too big or too tall or too stout. Many of your own children's dress may not be suitable for this fellow. Uniform is going to be a big problem. I've thrown so much of my son's dress because it's just not fitting. Because these people had never any exercise, no moving around playing, always inside. You know what we call it, an apartment syndrome. Apartment syndrome means these people never see vitamin D or sunlight, always inside. As a result, how they have become biological. Today's children reach the age of maturity or puberty faster than us because of the type of food that we eat. And another problem is identity crisis. I see. Who am I? Who am I? Very lazy also, correct? Very lazy also. Sleep. And only thing they do is to move with the mobile phone. Please understand, screen time is free time is not a screen time. I'll come back to that. Free time is not a screen time. Please make it very clear in your families. Okay, I see. Now, academically, what happens for today's children? Over expectation from parents and over expectation from schools, because schools have a pressure, parents have a pressure. Okay, and third one is peer pressure and media influence. You take any local TV channel, reality show, 10-year-old child, 12-year-old son, or they are into so much of pressure because of all this media, whether it is required. I'm just leaving it to your consideration. Okay, so how are we going to manage? This is the challenge. Biologically, they are pressurized. Academically, they are pressurized. Social. Dear teachers, whenever situation changes, our priority also should change. Whenever situation changes, our priority should change. Right now, the priority is healthy body and healthy mind, nothing else. Right now, the priority is healthy body and healthy mind. So whatever programs that you plan, whatever programs that you design, please keep these two things in mind. These two things in mind. Okay. Now you look at this picture. I just found some pictures also. I have put it. Okay. During online class, this fellow is relaxing, sitting on a cot and enjoying. Teacher is, midnight. She is, burning a candle and tensed. Lot of videos that were viral going around. How much struggle teachers were making, because you become over responsible and a lot of other challenges. I don't know if you are a mother, if you have a small children, does it reflect your family situation? Look at the first one. I don't know whether it is a mother or grandmother. She is preparing the homework. This fellow is playing. Second one, look at that. He will get one if he doesn't study. Third one is still interesting. Look at in her hand. She has got one chapel. Look at this fellow with so much tension. Sometimes parents are also over worried about the education. Right. This is what is going to happen when you go back tomorrow to school. Unless you show yourself in the frame, they are not going to ask you, hey, now they are realizing, oh, she's our teacher. You need to show your face on a frame. So little dramatized, but the challenges are same, dear teachers. Tremendous amount of challenge that is going to wait, but it is going to be a sweet responsibility, because you are going to find a satisfaction and you are going to be a part of history, and you are going to touch the lives of whatever the number of students. I'll tell you, teaching is the best profession to invest on people, because you are able to touch tomorrow, later on, down the line, 20 years, 30 years, these people are going to remember you with the gratitude because you were with them. Now, what are the other challenges? Now, when you open, probably some of you may be already facing it. We have some challenges related to that. Vaccination related, whether you have taken 1 dose, 2 dose, how many are waiting to open to your school. This is what is going to happen, ma'am. Okay, so vaccination related, government regulation related. Dealing with the learning loss. This is a new concept. As I told you, you find that children have crossed, one academic year full, they were not there. The 2019-20, they were there. 2020-21, they are not there. 21-22, you are opening late. But that one thing, the last 1 year, 2021, how it went, we do not know. That's a big learning loss that has taken place. Performance gap. Performance gap is nothing but your expectation versus what is the actual performance. You expect a child to perform in an X level, the child to performance in a Y level. The gap will be that's a learn performance gap. Concerns of the parents. Many parents are worried about their children's health, and problem with the parents is, the parents' problem is, except their child, they think everybody has corona. They are so much worried about their child. No, don't say that. Actually, this fellow may be also spreading it. We do not know it. Okay, so that is their parents' concern. Government protocols. I keep getting a lot of students from Kerala. Big protocol here. If you are coming from Kerala and Maharashtra, you need to have a 7 days quarantine. Okay, so my state has put it. So like that, each state, the government protocols, when you should open, when you should not open. So you will have a challenge. And fees related, as administrators, you would agree with me, parents are not able to pay, or they don't have money, or they don't want to pay, or they have an association through which they try to bargain for the fees. You cannot reduce the fees for the teachers, because unlike other professions, teachers depend only on this. So how will we manage? This is going to be a major challenge. Another thing is, this is what I said, performance gap. The child 1 year where he was, we do not know how he is going to, perform. So don't over expect when it comes. Just wait for the child to perform well. Now, why I'm talking so much about is hence things have changed. Generally, generation has changed. Generally, generation has changed. Look at the first picture. Those days when we were children, whenever you had a family get together, you see, look at that push, pull, fighting, everybody complains, all that. Look at the second one. Everybody is busy, one including the last fellow. He's also busy with something. More or less, everybody is that like that. Look at this. Look at this. I just found it. iPhone, iPod, iPad, I paid. He's the father. The family dynamics has changed. Okay, iPhone, iPod, iPad, I paid. Look at the tension on his face. Okay, so everybody is going through one or other things, right? Generally, children go through three influences in their lives. Three sources of influence. Number one, family. Family is a tremendous amount of influence. You know that. So anything that happens affects. Yes, teacher's life is education. Exactly. So family, whatever that happens at home affects the children directly. School, you have your influence. For example, your attitude, your methodology that you follow, the homework workload that you have, punishment, discipline, all that. Of course, the neighborhood, the other challenges. Over expectation from the parents, right? Same boy has to become doctor, engineer, lawyer, NEET, that coaching, this coaching. How is it possible? And the pressure is on not only on the child, also on the teacher, also on the management, right? So this is what typically a child will land up tomorrow when he is coming. This is how he'll, so little dramatized like that, this boy is there. Okay, everywhere, media influence, excessive workload, excessive and socially, okay. And sometimes when all these pressures are there, how will children be there, right? So dear teachers, I have presented the situation to you. I have told you what is the problem with today's children and what is going to be the scenario. Now, what is the solution? What is the solution? The first solution that maybe you can take down, the first thing that I would like to suggest is your mindset. Mindset shift has to take place. Look at this case. There is a boy who is called John. John is having some learning difficulty, okay, which means he is not performing academically well. Now, there are two teachers, how they are looking at it. Look at this. Teacher A says, John is one of the most defiant, oppositional, unmotivated, lazy, and irresponsible student we have in the school. Probably an English teacher who has got all the negative adjective are attributed to John. Now, look at teacher B. She says, I have a different view. I think John is really struggling with the learning and we should figure out the best way to teach him. Now, initially, if you look at, you may think that they are talking about two different Johns. Actually, they are talking about same John, right? So, the mindset makes the difference. I have three questions to you. Do you believe mindset of the teacher, educator is the most important asset of a school? Do you believe a teacher's mindset is the most important asset of an educational institution? Good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Second question. Mindset of an educator plays a significant role in determining and expectations and teaching practices. Very good. Thank you. All of you agree with me. Third one. Mindset of an educator decides learners' happiness and success. Do you agree with me? Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. If you agree with all these three, my session is over. That is what I wanted to tell you. Please don't log out. I just said, okay. Don't log out. Don't log out and waiting for a feedback form. Okay. So what I wanted to tell you is, it is the mindset, dear teachers. I may have a 20 years, 30 years, 40 years experience, but if I do not have the right mindset, I may not add any value to the institution. Okay. An institution is known not by the buildings, but by the teachers. Please take my word today, dear teachers. An institution known by the quality of the teachers, not by the infrastructure. Infrastructure, what we have taken for 15, 20 years, today the Tata's, Reliance, they are starting schools. They are putting up in 1 or 2 years, better building than us. We cannot boast of only, these things. Generally, two things happen with our institutions. Why people prefer our institutions, missionary institutions? Number one, we teach them good English, we teach them good values. One honest question that I would like to ask, with the due respect to all your experience, expertise, and the great appreciation to the work that you do, are we still holding on these two? You don't have to put it in the chat box, just reflect upon it. Are we still holding on these two, that we are the only people who can teach good English, or we are still the number one for teaching values? I leave it to your thought process. So therefore, teachers are, see, somebody asked for feedback form. Please, session is not over. Okay, so friends, a teacher can make an institution or break an institution. A teacher can build an institution or bulldoze an institution. Both are possible by a teacher. Both are possible by a teacher. So therefore, teachers are the greatest assets for any institution. So therefore, dear teachers, we need to feel that ownership. You need to feel that ownership. Unless we feel that ownership, it is my institution, I don't think any institution will grow. And I will also give you a little more examples when I come back to talk about commitment. So therefore, dear teachers, there is a direct link between our mindset and students' behavior. Right? Now, coming back to the case study. When teachers can have a view, students also can have a view, no? Right, look at this. This is John's view about teacher A, who told that, very bad boy. She hates me, but that's okay because I hate her. Win-win model. And I won't do any work in her class. In her eye, I am a total failure. Whatever I do in her class is never going to be good enough. She doesn't even expect me to pass. Why even try? So the meaning is, if I pass, my teacher will be disappointed. I don't want to disappoint my teacher by passing. That is the meaning of it. So therefore, dear teachers, our opinions, attitude matters. Look at this. This is what he has got about teacher B. I like her. She went out of her way the first week of the class to tell me something. She said she knew I was having trouble with the learning, but she thought the best way to she was smart and she had to figure out the best way to teach me. She said she's one of the reasons why she became a teacher was to help all students learn, and she is always there for me to help. Dear teachers, with due respect to all your experience and qualification, can we have this sort of message in our campuses? Can we get this sort of SMS or a WhatsApp reply to our principals? Can our parents say that I know that teachers are always there to help my son or a daughter? We need to push on that, because unless we do on that, we cannot survive. We cannot, because past is interesting. Those days when we started the school, nothing was there. But today, everything is there. Why are you talking about the past? Past is interesting but irrelevant. Please take my word. Unless it adds value. Today, am I able to add value today? That is what is going to decide. So therefore, our mindset. The first message is, thank you, Leah ma'am. So the first thing is, we need to have the right mindset. When I say mindset, our assumptions, attitude, expectations, perceptions, everything counts, dear teacher. So we are not only a whole-time teacher, we also have to be a wholehearted teacher. Wholehearted teacher. In fact, unlike other profession, problem with this profession is your personality has to be involved. For example, if you are a bank, you are working in a bank, okay, you are a clerical staff, you don't worry about your mood. Even if you are angry mood, even if you write your accounts is going to be same. If you are an IT engineer, even if you are frustrated, when you do the programs will be same. It is not going to disturb. But fortunately or unfortunately, problem with this profession is our personality is needed here. If I am happy today, I will make a happy classroom, right? If I am unhappy, I am not going to have a happy classroom. Have you noticed when you enter the classroom, the first 2 minutes, students look at your face? If you smile, they smile. If you don't smile, okay, another EMI not cleared. Let us not get into her anger. Let us keep quiet. They don't talk to you. And students know whether you are prepared or not, right? Students know whether you are prepared or not. As soon as, if you are prepared, what do? As soon as you go, you start the class, right? If you are unprepared, what do? Call the back fellow to the front, sending the front fellow to the back. Okay. And all the disciplinary issues, suddenly you take care. One whole homework, everybody forgot. That day you suddenly remember what happened to that work. Okay. The child knows, okay, ma'am is not prepared. Let us also cooperate with ma'am. Ma'am is pinching me, ma'am is biting me, ma'am, my book is missing, ma'am, my note is missing me, ma'am. Because they know they want to cooperate with you. If it is a college level, they will say, sir, why don't we go out for a discussion? Why don't we go here? So therefore, dear teachers, do not underestimate today's children. They are much, much, much more bright and brilliant. Okay. Now, this is a very interesting book. Please look at the slides very carefully. This is a book written by a Stanford University professor, Dr. Carol Dweck. This book is on mindset. Okay, it's available in Amazon. You can buy it. Now, she says, what decides a person's family, relationship, education, business success, all that is determined by one factor, that is mindset. Now, she goes on to say there are two types of mindset. First type of mindset is called fixed mindset. Second type of mindset is called growth mindset. She says people with the fixed mindset, they think they know everything. They don't want to improve. People with the growth mindset, they want to develop. Very simple. It's like a one boy who went to the staff room and fought with the teacher. Me, failed in English, impossible. Actually, it is impossible, right? Teacher said, you should only fail first, please move out. Okay, that is like a fixed mindset. I am working in this college for the school for so many years. You principal have come now. What do you know about my contribution here? Fixed mindset. I have seen so many things. Fixed mindset. Right? So growth mindset is wanting to change. Look at this slide, friends. Look at this slide, friends. So people with the fixed mindset, they avoid the challenge. They give up easily. They get discouraged. They don't discipline the students because they know whatever effort I put, the student is not going to change. On the other hand, people with the growth mindset, they embrace challenge. They work in spite of the challenge. They give their best and they learn from criticism. They are not afraid of feedback. They don't take the feedback personally. They are open to corrections and they keep improving in their life. Okay. Now, when I ask you, you will tell me growth mindset is the best. Now, what do the growth mindset teachers do? They actively seek feedback. They see every setback as an opportunity. Their comeback is always better than their setback. They take responsibility for improving their life. They think carefully about the language they speak to the students, and they have a positive and high expectation from the learners. So therefore, dear teachers, can we have teachers with growth mindset in our campuses? Can we develop teachers only with the positive mindset? Teachers, whether he knows the subject or that's a secondary. See, you are maybe a qualified teacher or you're a quality teacher. That's a question that I need to ask myself. Because I have a BEd, MEd, number of years of experience, it is my qualification. Does it reflect my quality? No. Quality is every day. Every day is a quality. Every day is a quality. Right? So therefore, how do we manage? So we as a teachers constantly need. Now, one problem related to mindset is like an iron mindset. No one can destroy iron. Iron gets destroyed only by itself, but not doing. We are like iron. We are like iron, dear teachers. No other metal can spoil iron. You know that. Okay, only we will. So if we are not improving our mindset, probably we may be. So this is the one thing that I wanted to tell you. Two other messages. With that, I will wind up, dear friends. Now, this is a very interesting book by Allen and Mayer. They are talking about They are talking about commitment. Commitment, you know that, right? How much you are involved in your workplace or the work that you do. So they talk about three-dimensional approach. Three types of commitment they talk about. Very interesting. First type of commitment is called affective commitment. Now, people with this commitment, they are attached to the institution or to the mission or to the work just because they like. No other ifs and buts, no other price tag attached, no other conditions. I like it, I do it. First one. Second type of commitment is continuance commitment. This is called basically a business commitment. If I stay here, how much I will get? If I go out, how much will I lose? How long should I be here? How long should I go out? If I stay here, what will be my benefits? If I go out, what will be my loss? This is basically a business commitment. Third commitment is normative commitment. I don't know what else to do. I don't have anything else to do, so that I am here. I don't have any other choice. My apartment is just opposite to the school. Easy for me. My husband got to transfer to this town. Okay. So anyway, next 3 years, he's going to be here. He is going to be here. Instead of sitting at home and watching some serials, crying, let me come here and make some people cry. Okay, so it's basically a normative commitment. So I'm not going to ask you which is your commitment level. I'm not going to ask you which is your commitment level. It is for your own personal reflection. So all of you agree with me, the best commitment is affective commitment. So my advice to, my suggestions to all the administrators and principals, can we create a community of teachers who are having affective commitments? Dear principals, any institution will improve only when we have teachers with affective commitments. There is no best institution, there is no best teacher. It is a relationship that we have to develop, bond that we need to develop. Okay, with all the shortcomings, with all the failures, we need to work together. Can we create that sort of bonding, that sort of relationship in our institution? Now, generally, based on that, I have drawn a teacher. There can be 4 categories of teacher. Father, please tell me whenever I need to finish, Father.
Sir, another 5 minutes.
5 minutes, another 5 minutes. So generally, people can be of 4 categories. Okay, first category of teachers, they are with good intentions and good ideas. They are the real asset to your organization. Second, they are good intentions but bad ideas. They are good, but they don't have any ideas. Okay. Third one, they have a bad intentions but good ideas. They may not contribute for us. The last category, they have a bad intention and bad ideas. So you decide which teacher belongs to which category. So I had a few more things, but then important one I will tell you. And then, okay, this is one important one I wanted to tell you. This is called the teacher-student triangle, parent. So this is very important for us. So unless these 3 stakeholders come together, we may not be able to add value. A student should support the teacher and teacher should give the feedback. And parent and teacher should communicate. And parent should give the support to the student. This is called a teacher-student triangle. Okay, and I will skip this maybe at later stages. Okay, so there is one word I wanted to tell you about, a difference between punishment and discipline. Please go for a more discipline. Don't go for punishment. Okay, there is something called feedback. We know feedback is giving report once something happens. I want you to try feed forward. Feed forward is nothing but before something happens, make sure you are able to help people. It's called a preventive approach. Okay, there are generally 2 types of teachers in every campus. Look at this very, very carefully. First type of teachers who bring happiness to others by their presence. Second type of teachers who bring happiness to others by their absence. Does it make sense? First type of teachers bring happiness to others by their presence. Second type of teachers bring happiness to others by their absence. So, are you a teacher who is bringing happiness to by presence or absence? Choice is yours. Choice is yours. Have you seen sometimes in the staff room, evening when you go out, why are we unusually happy today? Oh, she's on leave. We didn't even realize. You can imagine the amount of happiness that particular teacher has brought in the staff room by her absence. Okay, so dear teachers, are you a teacher who brings happiness by presence or absence? Choice is yours. This is one. This is called what we call behavior. What we call iceberg theory of a behavior, right? Every behavior has got a belief. Every behavior has got a belief. Don't correct the behavior, but change the belief. If you change the belief, we can change the behavior. Another important message: connect before you correct. Connect before you correct. Before correcting the child, first develop a positive connection. Your feedback would be easier. So with this, I would end. Final message, dear teachers. Final, yes, definitely. Students don't care how much we know till they know how much we care. I repeat, students do not know how much we know. Students do not care how much we know till they know how much we care. Which means your B.Ed, M.Ed, M.Phil, PhD doesn't make any difference till they come to know that you are a caring teacher. Can we create a community of caring teachers, because they are going to add value? Dear teachers, please remember, 20 years later, students won't remember what you taught, but how you taught. 20 years later, students won't remember what you taught, but how you taught. So can we work on our methodology? So can we have teachers who are unique, but not strange? Finally, I will end. And this is, I wanted to tell you, no quality comes without sacrifice. If you want to develop quality in your institution, please develop people who are sacrificial. Only a sacrificial commitment will bring the quality in our institutions. Okay, this I will skip, this I will skip, this I would skip. And finally, and this is one thing, when you reopen the schools, please fix to routine, because last 2 years, these people have not had any routine, no timetable. So once they come back, please stick on to the routine. Right? Final message, I would like to end with the story. Once, there was a retired school headmaster. A person with 40-50 years came to meet him. The teacher asked, "Who are you?" "Sir, I am one of your old students. I just wanted to come and meet you." He said, "When did you study? Where did you study?" He's asking some question. Then he said, "Sir, you remember? I was in that particular school. You were my grade 3 teacher. You are my 3rd class teacher." "Oh, I don't remember. Good. What are you doing now?" He said, "Sir, I am a teacher like you." "Oh, you are a teacher like me. What made you to become a teacher?" He said, "Sir, you are the reason why I became a teacher." "I am the reason why you became a teacher. Come, very interesting. Come, sit down. Have a cup of coffee. Tell me how you say that I became a role model for you to become a teacher." This person said, "Sir, you remember one day, one of my classmates, he brought a very costly watch. His parents had gifted him a nice watch for his birthday. This boy was going around wearing that watch. I liked that watch. I know my parents cannot afford to buy that watch. So during the break time, I stole that watch and put it in my pocket. After the break, this boy came and was crying, 'Oh, my watch is missing.' You said, 'Whoever has taken the watch, please give it.' And nobody gave, which means I did not give. Then you said, 'Close the door. All of you get up and stand in a line.' And you said, all of us to close the eyes. Then you came to each person, put your hands in each person's pocket. As you were coming closer to me, I knew that was my last day in the school. Today, I am going to be named and shamed, and everybody is going to, my self-dignity is going to be shattered. That is my last day, I thought. But you came to me, you took the watch, and you continued to go to each person's pocket, and you gave the watch to the person. And till I completed the course, till I finished my studies, you never even reminded me of that, sir. Now, do you remember that incident, sir? I am that boy. And the teacher said, how will I remember? That day, I had also closed my eyes. That day, I had also closed my eyes. Dear teachers, we can create a lifelong impact on students. Lifelong impact. Many a times, children prefer to be with us than their parents, especially at the higher classes. They say, my teacher understands me better than my parents. So can we create our institution a place where students love to come, where they feel so comfortable, where they feel that even if there is nobody to understand me, there is one person to be there with me. It doesn't require great degrees. It doesn't require additional effort. Just a little more thoughtfulness, little more effort in terms of making the child understand. At one point of time, definitely they will feel that this teacher was. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether you are a perfect teacher or not. It matters whether you are there when they wanted you. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether you are a perfect teacher. What it matters is whether we were there when they wanted. So with that, I would wind up. Thank you. End with the very interesting picture of Saint Chavra. I just found looked a little different. Okay. So dear friends, end with the quote: the day in which you have not done a good work is not counted in your book of life. As teachers, the day in which we have not impacted the life of our children, it will not be counted the book of your service register. It should not be counted because you have not touched the lives of the students. So with that, I would end. And this is my contact details. How you felt about the program, let me know. Any material related to becoming a better teacher, please let us know. We are always there to support. Christu Jayanti College, it's just a 22-year-old institution. Started with the 9 students. Today we have got about close to 10,000 students. It is only because of the teachers. So a teacher can build the institutions. It is possible. Whatever I am saying is not just a theory, but a practical ideas. It will also work with your institutions too. You can also make miracles. So with this, I end. Thank you, dear Father Provincial, dear Father Rinoj. Thank you so much for giving an opportunity. If there are any questions, that we will take it
up. Thank you so much, sir. It's time now. So it was really interesting, informative, and inspiring. I think there won't be any doubt about your class. So thank you so much, sir. So we'll conclude the session. And I invite Father Johnson Palapalli, the media coordinator of CMI Cardinal Province, to say the vote of thanks. Father Johnson.
I think he has to be unmuted, Father. Okay. I will unmute him.
Done. Yes, that's the beauty of this class, Dr. Jonas. Father Rinoj himself forgot to unmute because he has fully immersed in the class. That's the positive aspect of this class. I'm quite sure that all those participants might have forgot to look at their watches in last 75 minutes. You have literally liberated us from time consciousness. That's the success of this program, I think. And I would like to address you, sir, as Trigala Jnani. One has got the right knowledge about three eras, namely past, present, and future. Namely, you have rightly put it AC, BC, and DC. Was it what after Corona, before Corona, and during Corona? That was a very beautiful connotation. So you are talking us from very ground level, and I think that Corona and this session has taught us more than that you have learned from B.Ed classes. And Corona was really a wonderful interval for our homework. And for us, a lot of assignments to be done. I think, as you know, this year, when the result is published, there was a lot of trolls in the social media because Kerala, especially I am talking about from the Kerala scenario, the Kerala has witnessed the best result in the history. As you are taught, that was the first lesson that you have to keep in mind. Students can do well in their academies without the help of teachers. That's the first insight. And what you have to do is next, and the teachers, when we go to the classes from from next November onwards, and I would like to mention a few points. Parents will have more respect to the teachers after Corona, because parents could realize how difficult to manage a single child or two child. Now, I have heard many of the parents are wondering at the teachers, how the teachers can handle all those 40 students. Now, teachers, after Corona, you will be in a safe zone. There will be no disturbance on the parents, that there will be no complaints on the parents that you are handling 40 students at the same day. At the same day, you know, Doctor, he has mentioned teachers are good at in multitasking. At the same time, they have proved that they can be a mother, they can be a mother-in-law, they can be a wife, they can be a housemaid, and at the same time, they can be a teacher. When they were in classes, they could do only the job of a teacher. So teachers, you are proved them yourself that you are good at in multitasking, and you became a good tech savvy, and your self-confidence might have increased, sure, and your camera phobia might have been completely eradicated, and you learned simple living with better living with minimum income. A lot of advantages. Sir, I'm coming to your point. You are 100% practical, and you are talking to teachers, and you are talking from the heart. And when heart speaks to heart, it touches us. And you had a lot of examples. And your talk was really fun-filled, and it was a very wonderful session for us. We have 30 more days for our homework. Means we go to the classes by the 1st of November. We have 30 more days to think upon you, to ponder on you, and it is a very good, wonderful session. And teachers, when you go to your classes from next November onwards, my humble request is leave your home in school gates. Because your home was haunting you for last 2 years. First, leave your home at the school gate and be a motivator, because you are, and students themselves have taught you that they can do better in academics by themselves. Now your role is to become a motivator, a mentor, and one who can radiate positive energy. And Dr. Jonas has done a wonderful job in motivating these teachers. And I'm very happy to say that we are really happy, and we are really, when Father every day we are going to the participation list, and we are very happy. We are very enlightened to see the number of participants alarming day by day. So I appreciate and I congratulate and I express my heartfelt thanks in the name of Father Provincial and Father Renage and all in the name of the participants for making us to the second level. Thank you, Dr. Jonas.
Thank you.
Be with us always.
Thank you.
And Father Renage himself, he has put this idea, and when we are discussing about the next talk, then Father Renage himself has made this idea. We have to equip teachers for after COVID era, and Father Renage is the mastermind. He's the one who made the blueprint for all this program. Appreciation and heartfelt thanks for Father Reynolds. And Father Provincial, our caretaker and our protector, he also deserves our appreciation. And above all, you can see that around nearly 500 participants who are actively participating in this meeting. And there was a smile. Father Dr. Jonas, you could deposit a smile all through this program. And there were, I could read a positive energy from their facial expressions itself. It was a wonderful evening, and we feel really blessed. We feel really enriched, and it is only because of your presence, your vibrant presentation. Thanks a lot. Father Vinod, over to you.
Thank you. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Father Johnson.
Thank you, dear fathers.
Hope we will meet soon with some other session.
Yeah. Thank you so much, dear fathers. Thank you, Father Provincial. Thank you, dear fathers. It was very nice interacting with all of you.